So today I'm going to be doing the wiring on my winch. Now all this wiring was from how it was set up before. This solenoid here was mounted under the bonnet. That's why these are so long. So this is going to be, the solenoid is going to be mounted on the winch motor, and that's what I got the all thread for. And I got some washers and whatnot, and then I got some new power wire, which is 0 gauge, to run back to the power wire under the bonnet. And then I got some new crimp fittings, which will crimp on and sort that out. Obviously 3 of these I'll be using, which will need to get shortened, and then I'll have to run a ground as well, which I should still be able to use the original ground that I had before. So I'm going to be looking at mounting it somewhere like that. That's where most people seem to mount it, with these winches with their aftermarket solenoids. Like factory, they have like a control box here, and it has 4 little solenoids where this is solid. So I got some all thread, as you saw before. I'll measure it, cut it to length, and then we'll bolt it on and start wiring. It's gonna be so there's a bit I cut. I've just put 2 nuts on it so I can wind it in. But first, I just want to measure how far in the factory screws go. So it's got to get screwed in about 12 mil, which is all right. So we'll pull that out. Now we'll just sit it there. We'll measure our length. So we got 60 mil and we got to go in 12. So 48 mil we got to go to. We'll just measure what we got. There you go, right on the dot. We'll just do 1. And then our solenoid will, perfect. Alright, I'll cut 1 more of those. I had to make them a little bit shorter. They were a little bit too long. So again, we got 42 mil. So we'll go in 30 mil. Which is right about there. And we'll put our washer on and our nylocks, if I don't drop them, because the thread doesn't bottom out in the winch housing. I'll have to put something to protect the thread, and then just double check I still got 30mm, which I do. Tighten that up. Alright, and that's the first one done. Just measure that one, we got 40mm. Now I've got to go in 32mm, so I'll just go a little bit. Look at that, perfect. There you go, 2 little spaces. I'll have to clean them up, but that's what I was after. So I've got my spacers all done, which slip on like that. I'll just put a washer on there, because the plastic on here is a bit chewed out. Like that. Grab a washer, and then a nut. I could have made these spaces a bit smaller, and because the further this hangs over, it's more inclined to wobble like that, and it'll fatigue out the plastic here, but because the wiring's so big, it'll brace it up. Alright, there's the mark on the first one. I normally have a flaring tool. I'll flare the end of this just so it pushes on the wire, but I can't find it. So make sure they're square to each other. There you go. You leave the middle, don't do the middle because it bunches up in the middle and it makes it so it doesn't pull out. But I always check that it doesn't pull out, which it doesn't. We'll get rid of this old shrink wrap. We'll just measure it like that. Perfect. And that will sit on there. That'll sit on there. I should have probably put the riding on the bottom. I didn't actually think about that. I'll know for the next one. The grill might hide that, hopefully. So that. To that. There. All done on that one. I've just finished the last one. I didn't video doing that because you saw me do the other two. And that's just going to go in there like that. And I got all black here and here in the writing. I didn't even think about it on that first one. So I'm going to have to change it because it'll shit me. And because it's glue, it's the glue shrink wrap, it doesn't come off that easy. So I'm just going to have to hopefully slide the other one over it. So we'll just get another length. It's going to make it a bit thick, but that shouldn't bother it. Let's just have a go at trying to get it off. It's not going to come off. So what we'll have to do is probably get some CRC on it. Because it's got the glue on the inside, it makes it a prick to slide over stuff. Luck's on my side, that was pretty easy. That's better, all black. Alright, put that on. Now for the cab control switches, I do already have that wired in, which will be these ones. So I'll have to extend them and run them. I'll have to run them down all the way over to the solenoid. Because we're playing with power, I better just unhook the battery. Which is in the back in this car. like that. And let's work out somewhere where to route it. Which it's a pretty tight engine bay in this car now that I've put this motor in it, so hopefully we can get past the radiator, because all my front mount intercooler, like that's the intercooler there, and these pipes just squeeze through, and I've got to get an earth wire, which I could probably just earth it straight to the bull bar mount bolt right there. It's probably not a bad idea, and I might be able to get the power wire through that gap if you can see it, because like the intercooler pumps there, so I can't go through there. Oh, let's try feeding it through. It's not really going to work there either, because my power steering pipes, see, they're all touching now because I bloody smashed them. They're all bloody all bent now. Oh. So I got the power wire all connected up. It was a bit of a process doing that, but it just tucks in there. It's all pretty tight. It's hard to see in there, that's why I didn't film it. But it comes around in there and you can just see it there as it goes onto the starter there. And then it's got one cable tie there, cable tie there, and I put conduit around it because where the radiator is there, I don't want it to rub through and hit the power wire, because that's how fires start. So I might even change that, how it goes through there, and put some like PVC pipe around it just to stop the rubbing. So after looking at it and thinking about it for an hour, I ended up putting a bit of heater hose in there, just because I'm a bit worried about it rubbing on the corner of that radiator. Next time I pull the radiator out, it's got a round edge like it has here. I'm going to fold this edge right in. But I'm not pulling it all apart now just to do that. That'll be right, but we'll just roughly work out how long we need. Cut it there, leave it a bit longer. Just like that. And then our shrink wrap will slide straight over. Second one. And there you go, there's our second one. Just slide our shrink wrap over, just like that. So I've got that wire all ran through there and it comes out here. Now I've just got to run it through and down to the solenoid next. So I've just spent about half an hour redoing all the wiring in the front, and it's cleaned up heaps. That's the breather for that. You won't see any of this power wire, and they're just my winch switches which will go there. But all the other wiring under there you can't see anymore, which is good. Now we'll just finish off this. We'll put that earth on the back of the motor like that, and it's all done. I like to twist these with these crimp fittings, and then normally I bowl them back on themselves. Just like that. Just like that. So I just finished off the little earth wire here. I didn't have one with the cover on it, so I've left it long so I can cut it and put another one. I'll just have to get one. But besides that, it should work now. So let's try it out. So ignition on. Winch on. Oh, it works. I've got the things backward though. That has to go like that. Now that should be the right way around. That should be in. Yep. Cool. Now I'll just put the grill back on and it's all finished. So it's all back together. I really want to get another grill because I can extend it out under here and just make it tight around the winch, but the grills and stuff, parts are getting harder and harder to get for these things. So, and I do have to put the mountings back in the grill here because it's just floating here. And then I don't know, double-sided tape it down there just so the gap looks a little better. But that would have been a bit of a boring video for some of you. I wasn't going to film it, but I did anyway. Now I thought I'd talk about how thick the bull bar is, and because I've had a fair few questions on that, and I'll tell you how much it cost me and how long it took. So the bull bar is 3mm steel. You probably can't really tell there, but it's not thick at all. That's how I've kept it light. But then the main plates that bolt it to the chassis up there are 8mm thick. But this plate on the front here gives all the strength to stop it from folding out. So that bit there is pretty critical. That's why that's so chunky. But now as far as pricing goes, it cost me all up, I'd just say around figures, about $100 to get it cut at the water jet cutters, and then it was $150 to get it powder coated. So $250 bull bar is pretty good to me, and the ARB one I bought, or my mate bought, sorry, was $1,300. And that's 4 times as heavy as this. So this winch that I got in the front of this weighs about 30 kilos, and the bull bars, I think it's about 12.5 kilos. It's extremely light, It's still structurally strong. Like, you'd be able to give it a fair whack here to push this in. Like, it's all folded here and whatnot, and it's got big plates back there. And this winch hook, this snatch hook here, it's fully welded in there, and then it pulls straight off this main bolt here, which then pulls off the chassis rail. So I should be able to snatch strap off this, because these factory mounts, like the other Vitara I got at the farm, I ripped that off, just ratchet strapping it down on the trailer to take it to the farm. Like, that shows how strong they are. So I wanted this all done within 3 days as I was going back to work, which we got it done, and I'm super happy with the outcome. And that's near enough my Vitara finished. I want to do a rear bar, and I want to do rear disc brakes on it, because for anybody that has drum brakes knows that as soon as your drums get full of mud, you got no brakes virtually. So thanks for watching.